Hello everybody, my name is Benji and welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program. I apologize for not getting a video out on Saturday. If you can't hear it in my voice or you weren't here on Thursday for stream, I got sick. And Saturday was really bad. And I didn't have any time on Friday to record. And Sunday I was out of town. So we're here, we're back. I'm sorry I missed an upload. I know that I'm sure there are plenty of people who really missed that. I know I certainly did. So I'm very sorry, but I'm back now. Here we are, and we're ready to keep going with what we left off on last time, which is essentially just green motors in terms of the basic component kind of things. I don't really want to set up microcrystalline components or processing units, which are going to be two separate blueprints rather than doing them all in one, as I've done with the green turbines and for the regular motors, because of the fact that we're going to need them in huge quantities. We're going to need microcrystalline components for other activities, so we're going to want them to be produced on their own anyway. And the only real other thing that I have in terms of basic components to sort of automate on a larger scale are going to be the photon combiners and then the plasma exciters. However, those aren't really used in a whole lot of things. The photon combiners are pretty much only used in like the solar sails and a couple of things in the mall, so they're not really a huge thing that I'm super duper concerned about. And then kind of same thing with the plasma exciters. That's not really something that's used in anything other than just things in the mall. That's pretty much about it. So the main things that we're going to take a look at today are, like I said last time, the electromagnetic turbines. We're also going to go through with the photon combiners and plasma exciters in a single blueprint, because we can have the copper magnets and the glass required for the prisms being imported, with green circuits being imported. Actually, that is 3 imports, and then 2 exports. So maybe that won't work. Or maybe we'll just use 2 planetary things for that. That's probably kind of wasteful, though. So I don't really feel like doing that. And the other thing that we're going to do today is going to be things with oil. And I've been looking through the recipes for the oil in general. The basic recipe is the plasma refining recipe. 2 oil, split it into 2 light oil, and a piece of hydrogen. Then there's also the X-ray cracking, where we take that hydrogen and oil, literally in exactly a 1-to-1, and we use it to make more hydrogen and also a graphite. And then with that recipe, we can import extra graphite in order to make red cubes directly from oil and graphite as imports, rather than having some sort of byproduct and having to deal with all those ratios and all of that stuff. So when we get back to science, that's something to keep in mind. Otherwise, there's just this recipe called the reformed refinement, which is something that we are not going to exploit yet, because we're going to need a lot of deuterium, and our main source of hydrogen in the current frame of the game is going to be through plasma refining and oil cracking. So we're going to set up something that we can later on down the line upgrade into a reformed refine. From the plasma refining standpoint, just add some coal into it, literally the exact same timings, the exact same recipes, all the things, just have them adjacent to one another, and output only light oil. But that's not something that we're going to do right now, because it's pointless, in my personal opinion, and we can deal with the balancing that is required. Then we'll go through and we might do some things with like sulfuric acid and plastics and all of this really, really great stuff. And then, of course, organic crystals are something that we'll have to get into. Titanium crystals, which are used in structure matrix, the yellow science cube, alongside diamonds, which come from pressing energetic graphite again. So, a couple of things in terms of the order, a couple of things for this time, a couple of things next time, and hopefully next time we might even be able to make it the entirety of the way down to yellow science and start making our way down the tech tree a little bit farther with high strength titanium alloys, Casimir crystals, probably not, but, you know, just start doing some things with the yellow science. Maybe start getting in attack drone, having some of those at our dispense. As well as just some other upgrades. More walking speed, more energy. Universe exploration is purple science, which is a little bit farther down the road. Particle control and all that good stuff. But the main thing from the yellow science that I've kind of been dancing around is the interstellar, aka the interplanetary, versus the planetary logistics. We have the interstellar, or the planetary, logistics station, and then from there as well we have gas giant exploitation, which are two very, very important things. But enough dilly-dallying, done dilly-dallying. We are going to take this design that we have here for the regular motors, and we are going to up it for half of the output of green motors. I never copied this into blueprint. How many is this per second? I'm pretty sure it's 1 every 2, so half of the machines, this is 12 per. So if I take this, copy it, get rid of that motors, and then motors 12, added a little extra 12 per second. It's actually not 12 per second because of the fact that it's the 0.75 crafting speeds. It's actually 9 per second. 9 per second can be upgraded to 12. And I'll just leave it simply as that. I think at this point we kind of know exactly what we're looking at. And then if we take this design that we have, put it over. I think I'm going to put it down here instead. There. And then we'll just go on ahead and hit that for now. Because instead of having all of this going on, we will probably end up still leaving that green belt exactly where it is. I might end up having to move that, actually. That's okay. I need tons of foundation support here. Full pain in the butt. But essentially, my idea here is just to take what we already have, cut these belts short, so, cut these belts short, so, reverse the direction of the interiors that we have, get them going this way instead, make sure that they actually connect to their machines as they're supposed to, and then we need the same amount of machines that we have for the regular motors for the green motor. I think in all honesty, it would probably be better for us to have them with one another. Oh great, I'm out of items. That's just great. Okay, so there's the electromagnetic turbine. I know for a fact that we are going to need more of the output for the green magnets. So I've gone ahead and upgraded this belt, because this belt is the one for the green magnets. This belt is going to have to continue. And then I guess what we can maybe do is have this happen. This. Uh-oh. It's all coming together. Alright, fine. We'll just place these like this for now. That'll work just fine. And then instead of having an extra belt along the outside like that, what we can do is we can have this belt running along in the middle, like so, until it gets to the end. Then I guess what it can do is it can join up with itself on one side, like this, where on the other side it'll do this. So it'll join in. It won't be perfectly symmetric, but that's perfectly fine with me. I guess we'll bring it to here and then bring it up. And then we'll have it up like so. Bring it over. Get rid of this in its entirety. Bring that down and put it into the logistics station. And boom, there you go. Fitting things into places where they normally would not fit. I'm going to go on ahead, finish this up, design something for the plasma exciter and the photon combiner. It's just going to be more of the same. Design something really quickly for the plasma refining, and then probably bring it back in chemical plants, because the oil refineries are not too difficult to work around. I might show a little bit of that process, but regardless, I'm going to finish this. I'll be right back. And we return with something that I am honestly quite proud of. This oil refinement facility has taken quite some time to design, and I must say that I am quite pleased with it overall. I actually haven't run the numbers. Actually, yes, I guess technically I have, because this is a full 12 belt, this is a full 12 belt, this is a full 6 belt, and this is a full 6 belt. So this is an oil refinery that takes in 24 crude oil per second and outputs 12 hydrogen per second and 24 light oil per second, with additional fluid tank buffers for all of the fluids, so that even if the planetary logistics station gets backed up, this does not get backed up. In addition to this, I have also finished, as I promised, I have also finished the green motor setup, which I realized that I actually had too many of the green motor assemblers. This was supposed to be half of this number, not twice this number. Or not the same as this number, also not twice this number, but half of this number. So you can literally see entire copy-paste, except for this little bit down here, which I think is very, very nice. And then in addition to that, up here, I realized, in addition to the fact that we're not actually going to have the capability of the glass throughput for something that corresponded to both, or rather, I guess not only would we not have the throughput of the planetary logistics station being able to input and output enough of the values. I don't know why this is, like, charging, freaking out. That's but also we would not have the throughput of glass, and in addition to that, we do not have the throughput of glass up here. So I'm in the process of trying to fill out all of the drone slots for all of these. Of course, I'm not doing a great job with that, but that is something that is kind of on my list due. In addition to that, we are running out of power, which means that something that I would really like to have as power is actually beginning to go in to the EM rail ejector and the ray receivers. Now, those require blue motors, and blue motors are a bit of a hairy situation, and I don't know how to feel about blue motors as a hairy situation. I don't know how to feel about that yet. We still have a whole bunch of other things to do. So what I might do is I might just take this coal vein right here and just turn this entire coal vein into a power supply. Or I could do the same thing. There's a coal vein somewhere there's a coal vein all by themselves. I mean, there's this one. Here it is, this one. This guy. I might turn this slightly less than 1 million coal vein into a power plant all by its lonesome, and just completely and entirely cover this area in power, because we are running out of it. In addition to that, we can go on ahead and take a look into everything here. You can see the hive. The hive is still the hive. It looks like it has grown a little bit. It looks like it has more whales. It definitely has more frigates, which is just a ton of fun. If we go to this planet, we can see that there is still only the one base. And if we go to this guy, there are still only the 3 bases, so we'll kind of see if the hive decides to do anything about that. It looks like our orbit are also going to coincide very, 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 very soon, which is just a ton of fun. I can't wait for that. That's going to be great. I have a lot of things that I want to do and not nearly enough time to do them on camera. So for the last little bit of this episode, since we still have a couple of minutes left, we're going to go through, or rather I'm going to go through, and I'm going to design a build for plastic and a build for graphene, which the graphene is literally just going to sulfuric acid and the energetic graphite in one. So essentially what's going to happen is I'm going to make a sulfuric acid blueprint by itself, because we're going to need sulfuric acid for other things later. It's going to be nice to have as its own supply. We have stone, we have light oil, water we can just pull on site. So that's going to be a 2 input, 1 output. The graphene is going to be a 3 input, 1 output, because I'm going to make the sulfuric acid that's part of the blueprint. And then the last thing that we're going to do is the plastic, which is again a 2 input, 1 output. And I'll probably end up just doing like a 6 per second plastic build to keep down on size. I will probably end up doing something very similar for the graphene, kind of depending, because we're going to need 1 per second of the energetic graphite per machine. That's going to be a pain. Sulfuric acid is going to be a pain. A whole bunch of things going to be a pain. Running out of time today and running out of time in general for the episode length. So those are going to be the last 3 things. Sulfuric acid as a standalone, graphene as a standalone, and plastic as a standalone with support from oil, of course. And we're going to do that back down in the little oil heaven that I have made in this area right here. So we're just kind of going to keep on stacking and go over top of this little thing right here. So yeah, I'll be back, and that'll be it. Slight change of plans in there. I realized that doing a raw, including sulfuric acid, to graphene was going to be just a tiny bit too overzealous. So as a result, I've gone on ahead and I've just included the sulfuric acid as one of the requests instead of making it a 3 input, 1 output with sulfuric acid processed on site. It literally would have been probably not too much bigger than this, but a little bit too much bigger for my tastes and all that good stuff. So yeah, no, this is what we're ending up working with. We've got plastic, which is basically 6 per second. I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to copy these other 2 since I haven't actually made them into blueprints yet. I'm just going to title this A sulfuric acid, and this is basically 12 per second. It's really like 10.667 per second, but it's close enough. It's really, really close. Poor element. What are all of these things? I'm just now noticing these. Chemical fuel obtained from dark fog debris. Oh, that's why people keep talking about... Oh, that's why people keep talking about farming the dark fog. Because there's, like, specific resources that you can only get from the dark fog. That's why people farm the dark. I understand now. That makes so much more sense. That's crazy. Also, this is the water that supplies this. It's 12 per second. Even though it doesn't actually require 12 per second, it basically requires 12 per second, so it just basically requires 12 per second. And this is the graphene, and this is graphene, and it's also basically 12 per second, really 10.667 per second, but that is entirely fine by me. So I have no idea what the heck the dark fog stuff is actually used for in terms of, like, is it used in research? Is it used in crafting? Like, I genuinely have no idea what exactly anything? I don't know. I guess we'll find out when it becomes time to do such things. Also, sorry for the beeping. It's really annoying me too. But you can see that the power grid is completely and entirely screwed. So we 100% are gonna have to fix that in between episodes, and that is kind of my big hot button issue in between episodes that I'm gonna fix. Where's that coal node? I keep losing that coal node. Every single time I'm like, oh, I know where the coal node is. I'm just going to use this one coal node. Here it is, this one. This one right here. It's right next to the mall. Perfect, because I can just fill up this entire little area. Actually, that's a whole lot of build space, if I'm being honest. I might do these, and then I can take one of them when the other one runs out. So yeah, no, that'll be perfect. We'll just basically do what we did here with these things and the proliferation processing as part of it as well, and we'll basically get that to favor in between episodes. But for now, that is going to all. So thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. Next time we're gonna work on that kind of stuff, and we're also gonna start working on the sciences, I do believe, is kind of the next step. We just have plastic done, so organic crystals are going to be the thing that gets us science. Be able to make a yellow science blueprint. I would really like to do it straight from coal into diamonds. I think very nice, and then bring plastic and the light oil. So coal, plastic, light oil, all coming in. Actually, I could technically even just do coal and light oil, because the coal goes to the graphite, which goes to the plastic. The light oil and the plastic goes to the organic crystals, and then titanium. So it would really be coal, light oil, and titanium. I think that would be a fun little challenge for me. So I think I will, in fact, do that from pretty much raw materials into yellow cubes. And then, of course, we're also going to have to do the red cubes. I already have a plan for that, using the the X-ray cracking and an extra import of energetic graphite. And then, of course, the electromagnetic matrix is pretty simple. I'm not going to bother doing that from raw ingredients. I'm just going to take magnetic coils and green circuits and put them together. And that's just going to be that. And that's all also going to accompany with some proliferation. I might do proliferation Mark II for the science, because I feel like that would be very nice. But that's all stuff that we can get farther into next time. So that is going to be it for today. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. Look at all our traffic. This is beautiful. But without further ado, adios, sayonara, au revoir, hasta la vista, das vidania, evidicien, ciao, and goodbye. Please have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day. Get some sleep if you need to. Don't forget to stay hydrated. This video is in the bag, and I will see you guys in the next one. Also, sorry for the screenshot noise. I could not pass up that screenshot. That is awesome. Later, y'all.